Hello, Yas. I can see Yas. Stacey, how we doing?
Yeah, good.
All good? All exciting? Jide, how's Jide been this week? What have you been up to?
I've been busy getting customers, partners, having some fun.
Okay, that's
Yay.
what it's all about. That's good. Who else have we got? Ruth. Hello, Ruth.
Hi there.
Pat. I'm sure I saw Pat, and she's disappeared now. Oh no, there she is, Pat.
I'm still here. Hi, Lloyd. Hi, everybody.
Good.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Judy. Hi, Carol.
Hi. Hi.
Just gonna wait to for another couple of people, just to give you advance warning, not warning, but a notice. Some of you will have seen Joanna get to TL this week, and I will put the link up. But tomorrow morning, I'm going to be doing a TL celebration with her and her team via Zoom. So I'll put the link up if you want to join, jump on. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's going to be something that we're going to record and be able to going forward. So that's going to happen. Where are we? Okay, it's to Lorraine. Hello. Oh, Lorraine was there. She's gone again. Don't know where she's gone. Maybe she's. How are you? Good week this week?
Yeah, absolutely fabulous, rocking it. Yeah, it's good. It's been good. It's my husband's birthday this evening, so
okay.
Yeah, so he's looking forward to getting his pension next week.
I hope you've been spoiling him for a change, and
I have.
and the washing yourself instead of letting him.
But you know, he cooks. He does all the cooking 7 days a week.
Does he?
So today, rather than him doing the cooking, I went to Newton in Acre Lane, Brixton, and got us a takeaway.
Oh, okay.
Rather than do cooking myself. So no, we've had a fantastic day. It's been a really good week. I'm helping to mentor 3 people. Hopefully they'll be on here tonight. Akin should be here. Hopefully, I know he's working. Monica with a new guy called Julius. So just working with those 3 to get them started within 5 days. So yeah, otherwise, yeah, good week. Qualified for the marketing box, and I'm really proud of everybody on here. Actually, I think it's been a tremendous amount of activity going on. I just think it's really great.
And I saw all the mindful chef meals that were being cooked and stuff like that. Although I didn't see anyone add any jollof rice or anything with theirs or anything like that. I think you lot were just keeping that off camera, weren't you?
Yeah.
That's things.
Extra seasoning.
Add some extra seasoning to it.
Some planting and with it and something like that. By the way, there's always a in our house there's an argument whether it's plantain or plantain.
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 Not plantain.
Plantain.
Well, the debate will go on. I'm going to get started because, I always believe in starting on time, and we haven't got much time today. But what we want to talk about today, and what we are going to talk about today, is as we've gone through the process and we've been, working on showing the presentation and getting the presentation done, which then leads to customers and it leads to partners. And if you're anything like me, when I started this business and I signed up a new partner, it was like, oh, great, it was euphoric. And then I thought to myself, what do I do now? I didn't even know what I was doing, let alone to then slowly teach someone what they were doing. But what I found over the years is that actually is key to the business, the duplication of starting up a new partner, getting them up and running. And I like to compare it to having children. Who's got children in and you have children and they're born and they can't do anything for themselves and you've got to do everything. And then over the next sort of like 10, 12, 14 years, it's a balance between teaching them to do stuff for themselves. And part of that is making mistakes and stuff like that, and literally being there to pick them up if they make a mistake. And that's pretty much how we deal with new partners. Okay, so what we're going to do today is just have a conversation with a couple of partners who've been getting some great results with their teams, and just see if we can, you know, share some ideas and some of the things we've been doing. So first of all, I'm going to speak to Stacey. You all know Stacey. Do you want to just introduce yourself, Stacey, very quickly?
I'm Stacey. I'm a TL in the business. I've been in the business 3 years next month.
Okay, fantastic. And what's your background, for those who don't know you?
So I'm in teaching. That's my background. I've done a lot of things, but I've been in teaching for about 14 years now.
Fantastic. And what part of the country do you live in, just so?
I'm from Yorkshire originally, but I'm living down south at the minute, but moving back up north.
Okay, fantastic. So that's brilliant. So we've been speaking, and you know, you've been telling me a little bit about your business and stuff like that. And you've been having some success with recruiting new partners and getting them off to a start. Do you want to just explain a little bit about how that's been going for you?
Yeah, it's been going brilliant now. I think that I don't know, I shared my story really when I first started on the group, and I had a really slow period last year with the lockdown. I just basically barely ticked over and I wasn't recruiting at all. And I just made my mind up when I, you know, just before I joined this group, that actually something had to change for me and that my focus needed to be recruiting, because for me, it's the long game, the residual and the time. And that was what it was. I just flipped that mindset round to recruiting and thought, actually, I need to change so many things. Sat back and, you know, analysed what was that, and got to work really.
Fantastic. And so you've recruited some people, and we know you show the presentation, and that's how we recruit people. Do you just want to give us a flavour of when you've recruited a new person, what you do with that person to get them up and started?
Yeah, so first of all, it's just following, you know, the fast start plan really, that, you know, the system. So for me, you know, I was just saying that what I had to do was go back and learn again. So focusing on the training, on the, you know, the presentation and making that really simple. So, and the fast start process. So went back and looked at how all the successful people in the business were doing it and just thought, right, I'm going to master that, and just following that system and having that posture. Actually, you are going to do this within a certain time. So, for example, I had somebody the other day who signed up. He did not do his training within the 48 hours. So even though we had the fast start booked, I went on the meeting and said, have you done the training? He said, no. I said, okay, use this time. You've got this dedicated time going through the training, and then we'll book again the fast start. And that's what we did. And having that posture to know, actually, if you're not going to follow the system, there's other people out there that want to come on board, that want to be a part of this team. And, you know, they're not going to waste my time and I'm not going to waste their time. So.
Okay, now to some people that may sound a bit harsh, and I know, you know, you're a lovely person. You want to. Is the key to it saying it with a smile, and literally they comply with that and they don't get upset, because how can you get upset with someone who's you know, beaming at you and stuff like that? Is that an important part of it?
I think when I first recruit them on the call when they've signed up, I explain we follow the system. Okay. You know, we have a system. You follow the system, you'll be successful. I'll help you and support you all the way, but you need to follow the system.
Okay.
You know?
So I want to bring in Yas as well, because I know that you work closely with Yas, and we all hear about buddying and stuff like that. And this is a really good example, because you're not in the same team, or you're not in one another's team. So Yas, do you quickly just want to introduce yourself, just your name, where you are and all that sort of stuff?
Okay, so I'm Yas. I live in London. I work as a theatre practitioner, so in NHS part-time, and I also do some tutoring as well.
Okay, fantastic. So do you just want to explain or tell everyone what you've been doing in terms of recruiting new partners and getting them off to a decent start?
Okay, so just picking up from where Stacey, what she said, so doing all of that. But on the other Fast Start meeting, it's kind of going through the system. So everything on there, again, we identified, well, personally for myself, I looked at the skills I needed to improve on.
Okay.
Did practice, observed, I think a couple of trainings I attended, and then I think my focus was on keeping it simple. So something, because I found a lot of people were adding stuff on things and I was getting confused and not doing much. But then again, focusing on just keeping it simple and then sitting down with the new ID, going through everything on the Fast Start. But I think the key thing for me was the posture and also getting them to do the calls there and then at the Fast Start meeting. So we'll do the list on there, get them to do a few calls, put it on loudspeaker so that I can actually hear what they're saying for those first few calls, just to see whether, because I mean, I had so about 3 weeks ago, one of the new partners who joined up was actually saying something about electricity and gas there and then. So as soon as he came off the call, so we did the script again because we practiced. But the one key thing I think I'll add is, as I'm recruiting, if it's someone, say for example, I have a new ID and it's one of their prospects that we see who becomes a new partner. So they are on that call as well, that Fast Start call.
Okay.
So as I'm doing the practice, for example, the scripts, I'm doing that and they're listening in as well.
Okay, wow.
And then, yeah, so I'm getting them to participate in that. So they're learning as well. So practicing, so both of them are practicing. Yes.
Yeah, and what's also good when you do it like that is you get to role play with, you know, the original partner. So then the new partner sees, and then they can practice with the new partner and with me. So they get, you know, there's lots of practice and you can really hone that script in, and that works really well.
Fantastic. So can I just ask, did the two of you sort of get together? When I say get together, that could be by Zoom, and practice with each other?
Yeah, we practice all the time. We practice the presentation, we practice the Fast Start. We, you know, we talk as well about, you know, how it's gone with our new partners and what we can do better next time.
Okay, so there's the practice, there's the do, and then there's the reflection on that. And that's a bit unusual. I have to say, that's a bit unusual. It's a bit unusual in this business that we're actually taking time to practice our skills. And, you know, I'm a great advocate. Yeah, practice on live, what I call them, you know, live examples. But this thing, practicing what you're doing with another partner, it's a bit like sport, isn't it? Where, you know, if you take a football team, they practice all week to play at the weekend. Is that the sort of philosophy that you've got?
Yeah, it is. And every week we speak on a Saturday, on a Sunday, and we do that review where we talk about, you know, the partners in our team, what we're going to do with them, how we can help them, you know, and also what we've done that week and how it's gone for us. But also because we practice with each other as well, I know how Yas does a presentation. She knows how I do it. So if I can't do an appointment, a supported appointment, then even though we're not in the same team, we do supported appointments for each other with our new recruits.
Oh, wow.
So that, you know.
Yeah, that's key. So that's also when you buddy up, you've then got the availability of supporting someone outside your team and getting those valuable holiday points and pay. Not that that's why you do it, but it's always a bonus. So that's good. So how long, you mentioned that you've got the recruiter watching maybe and stuff like that. How long do you leave it before, if you recruit someone and they recruit someone, so you might have done that presentation where they've recruited, how long before you hand it over, so to speak, and say to the person, right, you know, you're now competent enough, away you go?
I think for me, I do the first 3 presentations and I tell them, so you listen to what I'm doing, just listen. And I'm saying to them, I'm just reading the slides on the screen. That's all I'm doing. And I talk about the enthusiasm. I say, because that's what, so people know you're passionate. And I give them an example. So I may say to them, imagine how I say something to you and I say it like a very slow tone, very boring and dull. How does that sound? And then I say it how I would normally say it, lively. And how does that sound? Right. And then they say, oh, that sounds better. Well, that's what we're trying to do. Make it come to life, make them understand what it's not just reading it like a book, reading boring, you know. And then, so the first 3 I will do. And then the next 3, for the 4th one, I'll get them to then share their story, do a few slides.
Okay. And
then I'll say to them, if you get uncomfortable, just say, is there anything else you want to add? And then I will step in and I'll do that. Okay. So, and then depends on how they do on the 4th and 5th one, I may just let them from then on take over. For example, I have a new lady who, this is her 2nd week, Sylvia, who joined in. And from the 4th presentation, she was so confident that on the 5th one, I let her go with it because she was all confident to do it. Yeah. And it's like she'd been listening to what I was saying and she was very passionate about it. And yeah. So this is I just tailor it to the person.
So this is literally the same thing in teaching a child to ride a bike, or, you know, let me show you and then let me help you and then let me sit here while you actually go and do it. And what we're finding, if I understand what you're saying, is people are stepping up to that and going and doing presentations. Are you finding the same thing, Stacey?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the person and how confident they are, and, you know, as well how teachable they are. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it depends. It really does depend on the person.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that is coming across, I don't know if anybody else feels, but what really strongly is your personalities. And the reason I want to mention that is because we hear so much about in the business, oh, I've gone and watched, you know, I don't know, Craig Casey, I've watched Celia Gadd, I've watched Claire Hingott, and they were brilliant and whatever. But you guys, not that you guys, you girls are just doing it with your own belief, your own personality. Is that something that's done deliberately, or do you just get fed up of trying to copy someone else?
No, we did that. We did all the trainings with Claire Hingott, Alex Roberts, all of those, and we just, you know, took the best bits and, you know, have made it our own. And, you know, I'm sure mine's slightly different from Yas, but, you know, it's about the people that also that we're recruiting and what they're going to identify with, you know. So yeah, you've got to be yourself, because I can't be anybody else. Like, I came and, you know, I've observed you, Lloyd, and I've got all the tips from you, but I've taken the best bits and just made it my own. Not that it's not all best from you, but you know.
Yeah. And how about you, Yas? Have you found similar in that?
Yes, I think for me, after attending the different trainings, the one thing I came away with is there were a lot of tips, a lot of good things I can take from it. But some of them, it was like, it seemed complicated to me. Yeah. Some of the things that they were saying, I felt like you had to really study and learn. Not that I'm against learning, because I'm still studying, but I felt that there was so much you had to learn. And I was thinking, if I'm saying it's too complicated, what about the new partners I'm bringing on board? How am I going to teach them? Like the presentation, for example, taking 40 minutes that long. How am I going to teach them that? And I want to get them, because one of the goals me and Stacey, we both decided was getting them independent quickly.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I realized I was getting like new partners were coming on board. I mean, I got 3 new partners coming. I'm like, my goodness, I have to support them. I'm working. How am I going to do that? Trying to manage the time. So I'm thinking I have to keep it simple for myself and for them. So therefore, we decided that we just want to keep it simple. No complications, just make it simple.
And I think in terms of the timing, Lloyd, what we decided was, you know, we just need to use our time a bit more efficiently. Okay. So we've now set up a cross-team group, and we've got our first meeting tomorrow morning, actually, where we're intending to do a meeting, just 20 minutes, half an hour every week to, you know, discuss different things. And then also put on trainings with the team that they can attend if they want to.
Okay.
You know, we'd like them to attend, but if they don't, me and Yas will go and we'll practice the presentation, you know. And it just means if we've got any new recruits, they can come on and practice with us, and it's just a better use of our time rather than, you know, if we're starting to support so many people, it's available to everybody, you know, that needs it.
Yeah. So you're employing the principle, if you like, of, you know, training and coaching in numbers rather than one-to-one, because that's more efficient and stuff like that. That's brilliant. So how far are you in terms of, so we obviously want that duplication. So we sponsor someone, they sponsor someone. How far down that ladder, if you like, are you now going, and how difficult is it to keep the message the same?
Well, I think,
you want to start?
yeah, I'm on. So this is, as I said, you know, I only started thinking in this way and, you know, doing this since January, and we're only middle of March now. So I am 3 legs, in one leg, 3 people down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that is the first time I've ever had that, you know. So, and I think this focus has brought that, but because we're doing more together, we're getting a consistent message.
Okay, fantastic. And Yas, how's your team going?
So I'm the same as well. So I'm three levels down on one leg, and the one I've just started one, second week now. Yeah.
And even the one at the lowest level, are they happily doing presentations and appointments? And
so this one at the lowest level, so she's just started, she's going halfway, because I've got her to go halfway in the presentation.
Okay.
Yes. So she's confident going halfway, because I've said to her, at any time, even if you get stuck, I'm observing you, I will step in. So just being able to say that she feels comfortable. Yeah. So
wow. And how do you, because I'm always curious, because most of my mentoring and stuff like that was done, you know, live in face-to-face appointments. And I remember doing a supported appointment in Tottenham, actually, and having to sort of like kick the person under the table as they were, it was a particular situation, but they kept saying the same thing, and I ended up kicking someone under the table to sort of indicate to move on. How do you manage when you're supporting? Because a lot of people fear supporting. How do you cope with supporting if you see someone sort of slightly going off track or saying something that you wouldn't necessarily say? How do you deal with that, Stacey?
Because I keep it very simple, and as you said, you know, I quite read the presentation with a lot of enthusiasm. I just, you know, encourage them to do it. But when they do go off track, you know, I don't think I've had anybody go off majorly off track. But afterwards, I've given them feedback and say, right, we need to work on this slide. So, you know, these are the points, rather than, you know, stopping them in the middle. So now, Yas, have you come across that?
No, I've come across one of my IDs who was trying to explain a bit much, and then she got stuck. And I said, let me just jump in here. And then I just said that, yeah. But again, like Stacey, at the end of it, we usually cut off the call once we finish with the prospect, and then we have about 5 minutes going through the points that I say to them. I think it's better if you say this, or it will sound better, or how do you think this sounds? Say it again, and then we practice on that.
Yeah. I mean,
but I find it, sorry, Lloyd, I find it actually a lot more fun doing the supporting. And what I find is that since I've started getting new partners and doing the presentations, it's become so comfortable doing presentations that, and I said to them, sometimes I don't even see the slides in my head. I see the slides going, even if I'm not looking at the screen. It's just become so much fun doing it.
And do you do the presentations, the supporting appointments via Zoom, or do you just do it over the phone?
I do mine. We use WhatsApp video. So I see them WhatsApp and then give them the link on their whatever device they have. So that's what I prefer doing that way. So that if then we can go on to the join the club, and it's easier transition.
So so you can still see the person and you can hear them as well. Do you find that you get better interaction when you can actually see them as opposed, because some people just do it on the phone?
I find that works better because I've had somewhere we've done just over the phone, and I actually miss that, because for me, when I see them, sometimes based on what I see, I try to build rapport with them. So for example, they talk about, oh, they're in the dressing gown, or you've just woken up then, and we start laughing. And so I prefer that method of seeing them. So, and I take my cue from what I see.
Yeah. I have to say, you are both making this sound really comfortable and really straightforward, and most importantly, a really safe environment for a new person to not be fearful of doing the doing appointment. So, you know, what would you say, you know, Stacey, would be, what's your top tips? What's the key to it? Why are you making it sound so comfortable? And this is genuinely, and I'm saying this from across the board, a really, really challenging part of the business where people literally don't want to support because they're fearful of what's going to happen. So what would you say is the keys to being in a good place to be able to support and making it, that journey, comfortable?
I think having a good relationship is key. But I'd say I think I've had a good relationship with all my partners, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I've, you know, that they've gone further in the business. So I think it's going to be the posture, to be honest. I think it is just, this is the way we do things, and I really, really want to help you get there, but you've got to help yourself, and let's do this.
Yeah.
I think that really is the key.
And Yas, let's say you were sort of like doing a fast start with me, and it came to making the phone calls, and I said, well, Yas, you know, I'd rather not do the calls. I'm a bit nervous. Can I do them on, you know, on my own and stuff like that? How would you respond to that?
So before I start the fast start, well, from the time when they become a partner, I mentioned again about the system, about having the system, a proven system that people who are successful follow. And I say to them, from that, when they become a partner, I'm so excited you're on board. I really want to help you to get what you want to achieve. And everything I'm going to show you is the system that's going to help you get there.
Okay.
So when we come to doing, like when I ask you why, what do you want, all of that, as we're going through the system. And when it comes to the calls, and I said, I just want to hear the first few calls, how you speak to, I just want to hear what you say so I can help you to get better, so you can get the results you want.
Okay.
And I've had a few people who said, well, two who said to me, oh, I'm going to be speaking in my own language because this person, I normally speak in my language. I said, not a problem. Okay. I may not understand, but I want you to go by the guidelines which I've said to you. I still want you on loudspeaker, even though I said, because I said to them, that's how we do things, you know, because I also want them to know that when they have their new team members, that's the way we do it. Okay. But if it was someone who was to say like, oh, I'm a bit shy. So I think, because I've never had anyone who said shy, I think I would want to find out why they're shy, if it's a problem, not sure, if we can practice more, and then maybe take it from there. But if they're really concerned about that, because we discussed that with Stacey actually, where I said, I'll get them to say, fine, I still want to be on the call. You can walk away on the phone, or at least I want to hear what you say, even if I don't hear what the other person is saying. So I think so.
Okay, brilliant.
I think because you've practiced with them, so they feel comfortable, and you know, it's about, you know, making them feel good about it and comfortable about making those calls, and that they're saying the right thing, and it's so natural. And you know, just the other day, when I was teaching the script to someone else, they said, that's what she said to me, word for word. That's what she said to me. And it was like, this is the sister. I said, and you got an appointment, and she showed you, and now look, this is changing your life. So let's do this. Come on. It's like, yes.
It's really good actually when you recruit someone and then you're helping them, and they see that you're saying exactly the same things to other people than you say to them, because in their head, it's all starting to fit together now, and you know, and that's really good. Never really considered the language situation, so that's a tip for me. So that's brilliant. What I want to do is, those who are listening, is if any of you got any questions, then please, this is now the time to unmute yourself and ask away, because I think, you know, these two ladies have been. I'm just blown away by the simplicity of how it's coming across. James, what have you got to say?
Yeah, my problem at the moment, Roy, is that I'm making contact with people, but when I go to phone them up, they either give me a wrong number or basically they're not there, or they don't. That's my major. I've had about.
So on this particular call, we're talking about getting new partners started off. So if you get a situation. So
I was going to say, I've had that with one of my new partners where, you know, that kept happening to her, and she kept having so many no's. But because at the fast start, we talked about, you know, that you will get no's, that it's a numbers game. And, you know, and then when she's had the no's, we've talked about getting the no's and how that's felt and how to move forward. And it's just a numbers game. We've just got to keep going and someone will say yes.
So that's about setting expectation right from the outset that, you know, no's are part of the journey, and rather than, you know, get stuck by the no's, we just got to sometimes move on to the next person and keep moving on. So yeah, but that's a great question. Anybody else got anything they want to ask?
I think, Lloyd, what I would always say to the group is that you just got to remember you're a shop, and you've got to remember that your prospects have a right to come into your shop and have a browse and walk out and buy nothing. And another time your prospects will come in and buy 2 things, or they may come in another time and buy a trolley load. And that's what it is, but it's your attitude to when you've got prospects looking at the business, how you leave it with them, that would determine whether they come back.
That's fine. Would you have any particular questions for Stacey or Yas? Anything that you want them to go into?
Sorry, when you say sorry, Lloyd, what did you say? If I
said if you got any questions, as opposed to.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no.
You know, no. Okay. Anybody else got any questions? Because you've got them. They're getting fantastic results, and our business is all about.
Yeah, one thing I was going to ask Stacey and Yas is, how do you organise yourselves?
Great question.
I have a weekly list, a daily list, and I have a diary. That's how I do mine.
Okay.
And I sometimes send my prospects my availability for the week. Sorry, my new partners, the availability for my week. And then they have to just who's getting in there first. And then I'd text them and say it's gone. You know, that's it.
Okay. So you don't, this is paper and pen. You don't use anything like Calendly or anything to do anything?
No, I'm old-fashioned.
Okay. How about you? Yeah. How do you organize yourself?
A diary.
Oh, okay. Another.
Yeah. I used to use the phone, and I realized that I was forgetting things, even though I had a reminder. So I went back to the diary that I was using. And I plan, so Stacey and I in our conversations, we talk about the week gone and the week coming, and we kind of on a Saturday or Sunday, just map out where we're available. So I will just block it out, just block out the times as we've had on other trainings and for the whole week. And for me, that's how I do it. So,
yeah. Okay. So a final sort of thought for you both. You know, this is great. You're doing stuff. You know, there's 4, 5, 6, 10 people in the team, and it's all fairly, you know, manageable. What are your plans to scale it up, and how are you going to manage when there's 50, 100, 150? What are your plans for scaling your business?
A good challenge to have, actually, Lloyd. I mean, my thing is, as I'm working with the new partners now, is as they're coming on board, is that getting them independent quickly? Is that getting them within the 9 presentations to get them going so that they can start supporting? And as it happens, we'll deal with it. As I said to my mom, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm ready for it. We've been waiting for this for quite a while. Stacey, I don't know if you want to add anything.
No, that's why we decided that we would do the cross-team group so that we can all grow together. And it is, you know, we all want to grow our businesses. So hopefully we've got the support of the people we've got in our teams, and as it grows.
Yeah, yeah. I did notice as well, Yas, you used the line there just now. Stacey, I don't know if you want to add anything. So that is clearly a line you use in appointments, and it's a great way of saying to the other person, I want you to speak now. Okay, because and that's how you do things, and that's how you get professional, and that's how you do things. I think this has been a fantastic example of how to get people started, how to keep it really, really simple, how to make people comfortable in what they're doing. And a lot of what we've heard is about setting expectation as well. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on you two and looking for, you know, promotions and QDs in your teams and FTLs and moving forward, because that's what the business is all about. So thank you very much. I think they deserve a round of applause for those who are off mute. Well done. That's really good. And I hope the rest of you have found that really, really useful. I mean, I will certainly be watching this again and thinking, wow, this is just, you know, and looking to copy that sort of mindset. Coming up in 2 weeks' time, I thought, from what I said a long time ago, I thought we'd do another Zoom op. So this is the op for predominantly people from our community, and I think that would be great leading into the Express Day. So put that in your diary. It's not called Express Day anymore. What's it called again? Power Up. Yeah, Power Up. So I think we do that going into Power Up. And then what we're going to be doing after then is I'm going to get some guest speakers to come on and share their experience. And you lot all kindly gave me some suggestions, and I've already started speaking to people, and we've got some promises of some very special guests, but we mustn't forget how special we are as well. I just want to big up as well Pastor Bayo, who me and him's been chatting offline about various things. I just want to acknowledge him, Flying Club and all that sort of stuff, and want to acknowledge all the people who are doing really, really well in the business and achieving different levels. So thanks for coming on the call. As always, get into the group, someone take a picture and post it in the group, get into the groups, start discussing, start moving forward. As we're all doing, I think we're doing brilliantly collectively, and just keep that going. So have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you all soon. Cheerio.
Bye.
Bye.